And welcome back once again. My name is James Henderson with NASDAQ Analytics. So, what are we talking about today? Tips for joining an investment club. What are the tips that you should be looking for? Well, before we get into the tips, do you know who you are? No, and this is actually a serious question. Each investment is done by an investor. Now, where things go right and things go wrong, it was all based on the investor's information. Now, here's what we can talk about today. When we ask those questions, do you know who you are as an investor? Do you know what type of trading strategies do you like? Do you know what type of investment styles do you like? Do you know what type of securities do you like? Do you know which securities that you just don't like? Now, these are all important questions that you need to know about what type of investor you are. Now, if you're one of those people that says, well, I just want to make money, well, you're going to fail. You've heard that old saying before, those who stand for nothing fail at everything. And those who are strong in one thing will succeed in everything. Now, people can take that, off as they may, but still, the people who are so flamboyant about investing in everything in hopes to make money are going to fail miserably. That's just how it is. Especially with today. People are saying we're starting into a bull market. Some people are saying that we're going into a bear market. You know your trading strategies for a bear market over a bull market. Well, these are completely two different things. In a bear market, you can throw a dart at anything. It'll probably go up. But on a bear market, now that's where your traders will either start winning or losing. And that's when the end of the pack will start falling off. All right, so now let's get into what is the market. Well, according to Warren Buffett, the market is the device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Now, are you an impatient person? Are you wanting to join an investment club to get rich quick overnight? You know what? This is probably not for you then. Well, why is that? Well, let's get into what a investment club's all about. Investment club will succeed on long-term strategies. Well, why is that? Well, most long-term strategies can afford to have a dip in the road. What happens when you go through a bear market? Well, your stock goes down. Well, what happens if it goes through a bull market? Well, then you're making money. So most investment clubs, well, they'll think on the long-term strategies. Oh, how long are we talking about? Most investment clubs look at it between a 3 and a 5 year period of holding the stocks, or holding anything in that matter. Most private investors will hold the company for at least 5 years. And now if they're a Class A investor compared to your Section C investor, well, that all depends on where the investor likes to be at during the investment stage of the private company. But what if you're here to invest stocks? Well, if you're going through a bull market, which is great, then you're making money right off the bat. But what if we happen to go through a bear market and you happen to buy on the downtrend? Well, pulling out too early means you just lost a lot of money. But what are the implications of pulling out early? Most investment clubs will have a penalty for pulling out because a lot of them like to trade in options. And of course, most options, especially if you're selling the option, won't fully, gratify itself until the end of the option, until it expires worthless. And that's where you make your most money if you're on the winning side. All right? So if you pull out early, usually there's a huge penalty that will affect you, but it also affects the rest of the group. So they've got to recover their money somehow. So if you're into long-term investing, then start thinking an investment club to get the most bang for your buck. Now let's go on to the next thing about investment clubs. Now, whether or not this investment club is right for you, it depends on your defined style. Like I said, there are many terms on styles, whether or not it's investment styles, value investing, income strategy, option styles, whether or not they have a minimum share price, market capitalization, or sector. Now, some investment groups that are out there just love to invest in certain sectors. Now, if you don't like investing in a certain sector, well, joining that group, even though it might be making money, you might have a problem with investing in that group, which invests in that certain sector. What do I mean? Well, let's take, for instance, alcohol. Some people just don't like to invest in alcohol. They don't think it's a good investment. They think there's more harm than good. Along with alcohol, porn, and everything in that general area. They just don't want to deal with it. Well, if you have an investment club that has a certain, market capitalization, and alcohol falls in that certain that certain style, then you've got to know that information because you might be causing that certain investment club to lose a lot of money or win, depending on your situation and a classification. Now, what if you're into REIA stocks? Well, what happens if that real estate, rents out to an alcohol business? Well, it's probably not for you, even though they make a lot of money from renting out to either specs or other beer and wine places. If you're not into it, then you probably shouldn't be investing within the investment club that you thought about joining. Now, if you're into learning about everything, well, that's great. So why would you join an association? Why would you join the club association? Well, to receive daily tips about options, stocks, terms, interaction with like-minded people. Joining a club association will get you around certain people that can educate and build your wealth of knowledge in whatever type of investment club you want to join. There's a lot of great information out there on REIA, meaning real estate. There's a lot of great information out there on commodities. Now, if you don't know much about it, then joining these type of club organizations will help you in the long run. So here at NASDAQ Analytics, we're all about options, stocks, and we based all of our information and trades on signals, on different indicators. Well, if you don't know much about different indicators and would like to talk to people about different indicators and why they trade on certain indicators and not others, well, maybe you should give us a try. But if you're into real estate, or if you're into farming, a lot of people invest in farms. Once again, they know that sector. They know what the growth is that comes out of it. And of course, there's a lot of people that lose their shirt on farming because they don't know anything about the sector. So once again, joining any type of organization or association and what you want to learn, it's got to be to what you want to learn, and two, you've got to look at their association to whether or not they will provide you the information that you want. Once again, NASDAQ Analytics, it's a brand new organization. So even though we might not have much fallback, we have a wealth of knowledge on the people that we've hired and invested in to provide you the information. And of course, once again, when you join any investment club, always be on the lookout to whether or not they educate their clients or the people that are involved with these type of organizations, because you just don't want to trade on the whim. It's usually not a good thing when you hear the manager of the investment club says, you know what, we just bought a whole bunch of dollars on X widget. Well, could you tell me why? Like, well, they're a brand new stock, and the stock went from $100 a share to 20 cents. So we think it's going to go back up to $100. And I've actually seen this now. And of course, when you got something like that, they didn't check out whether or not they're going through a bankruptcy. They didn't check whether or not the widget happened to be a patent infringement. And of course, they didn't check whether or not the managers or the company owns a bunch of the shares. So educating yourself and having the investment club educate you on more information than you want to know will give you the ultimate value of continuing on your investments outside of the group and into your retirement. So having that type of value in education when you join an investment club, well, that is probably the biggest thing, and also besides making money, on continuing your education in the investment club. So once again, these are some great tips for you to look for when you join an investment club. At NASDAQ Analytics, we're putting up a list of investment clubs that we truly believe in, and want you just give us a try, and of course join our organization to get daily stock tips and option trades on you. So our P&L is on, so any past stocks that we've sold, you can see whether or not we've made money or not. Like I said, we're just starting out, and of course our history just keeps growing with success. So once again, my name is James Henderson with NASDAQ Analytics. I'm a high frequency trader, had Texas Integrated Services, and anything that we have, we could actually put out, and we'll be building a site for you, the user, to take a look at what we've done, and of course back test it, another since the beginning of time. So a lot of stuff that we've traded on, of course, our scenario and our indicators have been back tested, and so not all of them fell. But then again, we don't have 100% success rate, like everyone else. But you can at least see our P&L and enjoy what we've done. Give us an email, and of course, if you're interested in creating your own, we would love to help you out. Anyways, I'm out here. Got to go. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you out there on the markets.